Coming out of the bye week, heading into week number 5 in the British Columbia Football Conference, and there is one undefeated team sitting alone in first place, the 4-0 Langley Rams. Their head coach Howie Zaron joining me now, and we'll see if Coach Borum from the Okanagan Sun clicks in as we get into things here. Howie, I mean, first, I guess let's talk about the bye week. How did you use it? I know every coach is different. Some go with the, on-field training exercises, the mental stuff in the room. Some scrap the whole week altogether. How did you handle the bye week with your group?
A little bit of both, actually. We did a lot of film, but we also did get on the field. Just helmets, though, really light. More just a little bit of walkthrough stuff, a little fine-tuning, and went over our special teams. But most of the time was spent in the film room or on the chalkboard, and we take one night off. We went only Tuesday, Wednesday, and I gave the boys Thursday night off.
So week number 4, it ended up being a relatively close game in the end, a 10-point spread over the Rebels, but 21-0 after the first quarter of play. I mean, what was the energy and the vibe like? What was going through your head and amongst your team after that first quarter where you guys just blew the doors off?
Well, our team is really focused right now, and we in the off season, we heard about this team and that team, and these guys got these guys coaching, and this team's got these guys coaching. So we just our players took it personally, and that squad over there was doing a lot of talking, and they came into Langley, and we jammed the ball down their throat in the first quarter, and we pretty much just we took their heart. There was guys walking around with their heads down, and it's demoralizing when you get the ball pounded on you. And I know the Rebels have a good run game with Lubin back there, and their O-line is a lot better this year than it was last year. So our focus was to stop the run and impose our will on the ground.
Stop the run. You did that. When you look at the stat sheet, I think they had under 20 or under 10 yards rushing in total in that game.
I think they had 13 yards and 12 carries, I think.
Right. Not that you were counting or anything, right?
No, not at all. But you know what, Dom? Nobody gives this guy credit, but our nose tackle, who I don't even think gets any stats. But if anybody wants to turn the film on and watch him, little 58, Srirachi, that guy takes on 2-3 blocks at a time and frees up everybody else to make the tackles. And that's what you want out of your nose tackle. So, if there's a big reason why we're stopping the run, it's because of that guy right there.
Man, that's an interesting point you make, Howie. No stats. They don't record, taking on double teams, and nor could they really. But, I don't think a nose tackle has ever been Defensive Player of the Week, let alone Defensive Player of the Year in the Bcfc. Do you?
No, I've never heard about that at all. It's always the rush end or the linebacker or, maybe a DB with a lot of picks, that kind of thing. And a lot of those guys deserve their stuff as well. But I'm just saying, this kid here that we got, just turn on the film, Dom, and then you just shoot me a text and you tell me what you think.
All right, okay. So what does that win do for your group? I know it's only week 4, and, of course, the end game for you guys would have even gone beyond week 10 because I think you've already put yourself in the position as a playoff team this year. But that kind of a win against a really good club, what does that do for you, Coach?
Well, I think for us it just gets us one step closer to having home field advantage. I know the Rebels were undefeated as we were, and that game there was a big test. And for us, it was all about home field advantage.
So Howie, as it looks like we have Shane Beatty has clicked in on the interview here. I'm not sure. Shane's not scheduled to be on the call until 6:30 here. We might as well roll with this here because this is like WWE style stuff here. To have a guy clicking in, did he go out? Okay, darn, that's too bad. I was hoping we could have had Shane hang around there. That would have been it's like a guy walking in and while you're in the ring doing your one-on-one promo there, Howie.
Yeah.
Anyways, this Okanagan Sun team. Tell me about this club, what they bring to the table, and what you're expecting from them.
Well, I think anytime you have guys like Tyler Going or Connor Richard on your team, you obviously know you're going in up to Kelowna and it's going to be a physical game. So, that's what we're expecting. We got to get on the bus at 5 a.m. and play at 1 p.m. So that's obviously always hard to do. And listen, I like the way they run the ball. We've got the best running back in the league, and I love our run game. But if there's another team's run game that I like, it's the Okanagan Sun. They have a little bit of thunder lightning going on there with Curry and Miller, I think it is. And you know what? Their quarterback's a great athlete as well. So, I mean, I expect a run game versus run game come Sunday.
So the point I was making earlier, now I finished my train of thought here. I know that winning in week 4 against the Westshore Rebels likely doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of your season, but it felt like to me it was a bit of a grudge match, a game you guys really wanted to make a bit of a statement. What kind of an impact does that have moving ahead for your group to come out and play the way you did and put up those kind of numbers?
Well, I think it gives us a little more confidence. I mean, if that's even possible to give us more confidence, because we're a pretty confident group. You know, we have a lot of cocky guys on our team, but I've made it clear to these guys from day one, you guys can be as arrogant or as cocky or whatever you want to call it as you want, but it's always got to be team first. And if you're team first, you can do as much talking or swag as you want to do, but it's always got to be the team first. So I think going in, having the Rebels come in, and, you know, them doing a little too much talking and Coach Beatty, you know, crying about respect and this and that. And, you know, I mean, I guess the only team that doesn't respect them is themselves, because everybody I've talked to, whether it's Coach Visa or Borum or whoever, they all say they respect the Rebels. So I don't know where all that comes from. Maybe it's just a battling cry. I don't know. So, I mean, for us, you know what, they did a lot of talking and they came into town and, you know, they left with their heads hanging low. So it was great for us.
Howie, thank you for this, my friend, as always, and best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Okay, awesome.